Hey everybody, it's Kathy with Backyard Columbus, and today's episode is about the super basics of irrigation and watering. And I mean to tell you like the super duper basics, okay? I am not an irrigation expert. I am not a watering expert. These are just sharing some ideas to make your life easier, keep your water bill lower, and have more effective watering for your plants in your backyard, okay? So if you are taking up a raised bed garden this year, so the least productive way to water is to stand there with your hose on top of everything and water it. Usually people water for not long enough, and then if you are growing like a zucchini or something like that, then all of that white mildewy looking stuff is because the water is settling on top of the leaves. Well, the leaves don't need watered, the roots do, okay? So two things about, let's just call it 116 square foot bed. If you have the time, which look, watering 116 square foot bed is not a lot of time, I would do it in the morning is preferable, from my understanding, and in the night, obviously the next best. 2 o'clock in the afternoon is not when I would choose to go out and water anything, especially your lawn. I got a little bee in my bonnet about all that anyway, but that might be a whole other thing. So if you want to make your life the easiest, you can actually buy irrigation systems on Amazon, or don't come at me if you hate Amazon, wherever you would like to purchase your stuff, and put it together yourself. I did it. I've never done it before. And just because I'm decently good at gardening doesn't mean I know the first thing about irrigation. Okay, so it had a kit. You watch the video, you hook it all up, you put it on a timer on your spigot, and bam, it comes on every day all by itself, and it's a drip irrigation, okay? You can do the little drip drip. You can do soaker hose. I didn't really like that. I'm sure it's fine. You could do your own research about it. Within that other irrigation, they're also little sprinkler heads. So that I think if you had a bigger area might be pretty handy too. I'm looking into that. But the point is, it comes on at the same time every day. I had a Wi-Fi timer. I thought it was going to be all cool and it was going to be all technologically advanced because I'm kind of a tech brat. It was a big fat pain in the butt. Couldn't get it to connect to my Wi-Fi because it had to connect to a different channel, all this stuff. It was just a fat pain in the butt. So I got a $35 dial, like how often, how long, how many days of the week, bam, it was done. It was great. So that works just fine. I mean, I'm not going to can turn it off if it's going to rain. It's not that big of a deal. So anyway, that gets directly to the roots, which is where you need the water. So that's very effective. And we have, I'm just going to rip this off the top, 6 16 square foot garden beds. Well, that gets to be a little bit more problematic. So the irrigation system was really very well worth it. And did I say this already? It was like $45. I mean, it was not hundreds of dollars. Listen, if you're pooping cash and you want to have someone else come out and install it, like they buy the whole thing, install the whole thing, then good for you. I mean, I don't mean that sassy. Really good for you. That's awesome. It would have saved me a lot of time. I'm a bit more frugal than that. So anyway, that's very effective. This is why I also did another episode about containing your containers. If you have window boxes and hanging baskets here, there, and everywhere, I don't know that an irrigation system is, I mean, you can't have lines running everywhere. You know what I mean? So I would try to contain that stuff so that it makes your life easier. Now, if you have loads of time and that is your relaxation, then hey, I totally get that. I'm a bit shorter on time, so I've really tried to rein that in a bit. So as far as your lawn goes, people have irrigation systems for that. I do not. We do not. But here is the mistake that I see people make, all right? And again, I am no expert on lawn irrigation, but some things to consider. I would definitely water your lawn in the morning. And one thing I do know to be a fact, it needs to be long and deep, okay? No giggling at me about that. I probably should have picked a different phrase. So, but you need to water for a long time so that the water goes in deeply. The people who stand there, and look, I'm not making fun of them. I giggle to myself, but they just don't know. All right. You're standing there and you're thinking about who knows what, just spraying your hose on your lawn for like 5 minutes. You just wasted 5 minutes and a lot of water. I mean, that does not do anything because what that actually does is, let's think for a second, of the roots of grass as little living beings, and they want water, okay? So they're like little thirsty birds sticking their little baby bird heads up for something to drink, so they're coming to the top. That is not where you want the roots of your grass. That's not where you want the roots of your trees, your flowers, nothing. You want all of that deep so that A, they don't get damaged, they don't get too dried out. Does that make sense so far? So when you water your lawn or when you water your garden, you want to water once and well, okay? So get that water, get it a really good soaking, and back to the lawn, you would want to give it a super good soaking every few days, all right? Not a half an hour or 15 minutes with a hose every day. Again, to reiterate, you're going to make that root system far too shallow. So you will be doing a lot more good for your lawn to do it for a long time every few days. All right. And please, for the love of all things sacred, don't do it at 2:00 in the afternoon with one of those sprinkler heads, that goes up and down and over or across your lawn. That if you're going to do that, that's totally fine. But do it for a while and do it in the morning. 2:00 in the afternoon, you're probably scorching the grass, first of all. And secondly, a bunch of it is evaporating. I mean, I don't want my dollars evaporating into the air, so you're just wasting your time. I'm trying to save you time and money also while getting you to green your lawn up. So that should be a helpful tip to do that in the morning, do it deeply, and every few days for your lawn. As far as your flowers go, if you have perennials, that is the power of perennials, is that they're already hardwired to know the deal for the area that they're native to, okay? So here in Ohio, our Ohio native plants, I don't have to baby those things. So I don't really need to water or put an irrigation system in for all of the native perennials that I have. It would be more for like zinnias or the annuals that I have in pots, baskets, the little baby zinnias that I have in my landscaping beds. I will put the sprinkler on those low, so it's not going up overhead. I try to get it as low as possible, but I do it first thing in the morning. I do it every few days, give them a really good soaking, and then call it a day. So hopefully those are some things that will help you be successful in your garden. So this is why I share some of these things. I want you to be successful because success puts a smile on your face. And if you have a smile on your face, you're going to keep doing these things. If it all goes to hell in a handbasket the first time you try it, you're not likely to keep doing it, okay? And so hopefully I gave you some good ideas. Anyway, if you have any other questions or comments, drop me a line. And I thank you for listening. Have an amazing day.